end of the last lesson, we thought we had our web layout approved and completed, but I've just checked my emails and I've got a brand new email from Aria saying, actually, I showed my friend Andre and he suggested a few things. Now, Andre works with ZooPy. He's actually given some feedback on this. Now, if you do join a paid course as part of ZooPy, we do give you feedback on lots of your design works and your projects that you're working on. So this is a very normal approach if you are on one of our paid courses. So what Andre has done is he's added some comments. And I can see the comments tab here has got a little highlighted thing, and he's got some comments in here. Now, the reason I want to kind of talk about this is for two reasons. Now, one, obviously we do lots of comments and feedback as part of ZooPy, but the second one is mostly where do we do these changes? Do we always do them in Figma? But as we move into the web layout, maybe we want to move things into the web layout and do the changes there instead. So there's a few different comments here. So the first one is, do you think it's worth to change the grid gutter? Text is too close to the image here. So let's see what he means. So if I click here, it'll automatically zoom in. And you can see here that, maybe he's right. Maybe this is a little bit too close. So maybe what we want to do is actually make some space between them. Now, how do we go about that? Well, what we could do is we could change the grid everywhere, which seems like a lot of work. But what we would do here is we'd select our home, then we'd go into our layout and show it. And what we need to do is update it here. Now, what I'm going to do instead is leave this until the web layout, because this is just a general look and feel. Like, we will change a lot of this design. This will go down into a mobile version. It'll go into a tablet version. So if I just suddenly change the cutter and start playing around with this a little bit more, maybe the width goes down to 64 instead. So things are starting to get out of sync a little bit. Like, the spacing needs to just re-engineer a little bit and shift over everywhere. So it might actually be a lot more work to do this. So I'm going to leave this as it was. Now, the reason for that is we will fix this in our final version. We'll go back to what Andre said and say, cool, you were right. For this version, this is too much of a change. Let's not worry about this. So let's see the other comments. So the other comments are mostly around the brand. So in here, text should have the same height as the triangle. Kind of makes sense. And here, the circle should be a bit taller because they kind of seem a little bit off. So we're going to make these changes now because this is part of the brand. If it's part of the site, I'd maybe consider it being part of the web layout instead and just being like, cool, keep it in here for now. So I'm just going to quickly do these fixes. So there we go, I've just quickly fixed these up, and of course because they're components already, this automatically updates on the site too. So this is kind of why I want to talk about this, because sometimes a client will come back and approve things and then actually change their mind. So do we change everything, or do we say, cool, we'll leave some things for the web, and when we code it up properly, then we'll do it. So this is kind of why I want to talk about this. So this would have gone back into, in progress, back into approval, and we'd sign off again once we've done it. Or we can tell the client we're going to wait for some of the web stuff as well. The next thing we're going to do is actually start to do the coding of the site. So I'm going to move this into in progress. How do we even go about this? What tools do we need? How do we actually do some code? We'll talk about that in the next video.